Well, I'll start. There was that damn Shetland pony.
Queenie.
Queenie was a mean horse. Terrible mean. She only stood about yay tall. So, of course, that was the first thing we rode was Queenie. And Queenie could get the bit in her mouth and really do a number on us little kid. So we didn't trust Queenie, and Queenie didn't trust us. My favorite was the quarter horse, Brownie. Brownie was really a smart, great horse. Really, had a lot of stamina. We could ride her anywhere. But she also was a bit of a nuisance. I can remember riding her south of the house, out towards the South 40 there, getting about halfway down there. And if you weren't totally prepared, she knew it. And she could turn on a dime, throw you off, and run all the way back to the barn, and just come roaring through the barn into her stable with the reins flying and the syrup flying, and there was this kid way off in the pasture shouting, and because she tossed us for her. She also was terribly afraid of prairie dog holes. So if she saw a spot in her side as you were galloping along that she decided was a prairie dog hole, she'd give a great big leap, and you had to be ready for that too, because that could come at any moment. Anyway, she was still a really good horse. Oh, the other thing she'd do, she would decide, you had her tied up someplace sturdy, and she'd decide she didn't want to be there. So she knew how to take the halter and pull back on it with her head, so the rein would snap. She could get her haunches into that thing and just break any. I think she could have broken a metal cable because she was so smart, so strong. Remember that?
Yeah. The horse that Ralph's talking about is I come home from school and the sheep were out in alfalfa. I was the only one home. So I saddled up that horse and went out and was rounding up those sheep, to get them off the alfalfa because they'll bloat. These people bloat. And anyway, we were really doing our thing, and the cinch broke. And I just went out on the dirt and with my knee on, and my knee jammed into my hip and broke my hip. But that was a wonderful, wonderful horse, and the fun thing about it, we had this hired man. His name was Ed Davis, and his boy was just kind of a mess, So we were going to go to school, and we were riding double, and he insisted that he should ride in front and I'd ride in the back. He didn't know how to run that horse at all, but he wanted to be in the front, and so okay, that's fine. So then coming home, same deal, he wanted to ride in the front and I in the back, so I was in the back, and I just put my heels in the flank of that horse. And that horse bucked and bucked and bucked. And that kid, he was crying and crying. And I just rode that horse back there because he had all the stuff. He had the stirrup and the horn. And I just had to sit up on top of that horse and ride that horse. Never did buck us off or anything, but all that just scared the wind out of that kid. I'll tell you what. His dad, he says, I heard about that. I heard about that, boy. And Mr. Davis was going to take his car and he's going to drive his boy to school, and you're going to ride that horse by yourself.
I can remember Richard picking corn. What you do to pick corn, take these old cotton work gloves, and you'd coat them with turpentine, tar so that they were sticky. And it's all done with dryland corn. So there'd be a stalk here and a stalk there and a stalk there. But you'd have to literally be in a stoop. You'd be walking over. You'd walk in a stoop, and you'd pick that piece of that ear corn and throw it over your shoulder. And the corn the wagon had to be right there. So the horses would pace themselves as fast as you could walk. They'd walk right beside you. So that you'd be just, when you're stooped over, both hands working, shucking that corn. I tried to do that once, and I did not do well. But it was hard work. It was really hard work. One of my most tragic memories of the horses. It's actually one of my first memories of in my life was the horses had gotten out somehow, and this was at a time when Dad was still using the teams as farm equipment. Literally, they were part of what made the farm work, was the horses. The horses had gotten out, and they got all the way over close to Riley's. And Dad got in the car, and he was mad. It was like, I don't remember, Sunday morning or something. It was just terrible inconvenience. Horses got out. So he got in the car and was chasing them back home. And for whatever reason, one of the horses got too close and broke, and the bumper of the car got too close and snapped one of their legs. And that horse limped all the way home, but then it had to be shot. And that was one of the only times I ever saw my dad cry, was when he had to shoot that horse. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, we used to have a black Persians, and they were really good horses. They were getting up there in age. And first of all, when I was a freshman, Christmas time, we come from a country school, and I decided I didn't want to go to school anymore. Well, Dad said, I got some corn out there to pick. You go out and pick that corn, and I'll pay you what they pay our help pick corn. Boy, I worked on old Persians, we pulled and worked hard. The best I could get was $5 a day. And by golly, after Christmas week, I decided maybe I'd go to school, and I didn't really. It really was a blessing Dad made us do that because actually I did better in school. And then we still had those horses when I graduated, so I went to picking for Riley's at 25 cents a bushel, and I can always remember. I would be the second team, and Lonnie would be the front team, and then the third and fourth team would be the Graff boys and J.B. Johnson. And we always knew J.B., he had the worst horses that you could buy. I mean to tell you, they'd run off all the time. And you hear this bang, 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 and the corn going every which way. And there'd be old J.B. on the back of the wagon trying to swing up to get the reins of the horse.